It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
My name's Emily Roper, and I'm the new Dean for the College of Nursing and Health Professions. And I understand that you are a new incoming student in nursing?
Yes, freshman.
All right. Wonderful. Well, we're excited to have you. And I wanted to know, why did you choose Drexel?
I had a lot of different schools that I was looking at. I mean, I was only looking at direct admit nursing programs. I wanted to start my nursing classes as a freshman, not have to worry about the transition, and not have to worry about whether or not I'll get in. Right. So I narrowed it down for me to some schools. I'd say about like 10 schools. I loved the city life, so then it narrowed it down even more.
Right.
And then I came and toured the program, and I mean, I made friends super fast. Everyone was so welcoming, and I mean, I just had that feeling. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. No doubt, nothing, no other school was in mind. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and I came.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. We're really happy that you're here. I'm curious, why nursing? Like, what is it that drew you to that profession?
Yeah, so I grew up always wanting to help people. I mean, I was on the street as a 7 or 8 year old asking my parents to give homeless people like snacks and stuff. And so for a long time, it was really social work was kind of where I wanted to go. And then I started doing like volunteer work through this Jewish program at home called Imadi. And they set me up with a little boy named Caleb, and he was diagnosed with brain cancer. So I worked with him for approximately like a year. And I got super close with him and his family. I mean, they actually live in Philly, some of them, which is really nice. But so I got super close with him to the point where I was calling like his family by like, you know, grandma and grandpa and stuff like that. And he, unfortunately, he passed away in December of last year. But he is really the reason why I want to do nursing. My goal is to do pediatric oncology. Hopefully that stays, you know, and with nursing you go back and forth and whatever. But
that's beautiful to hear that story.
Yes.
In terms of, what are you looking forward to in terms of college life as a student? Obviously, you're here in beautiful Philadelphia. You're from Baltimore, I understand.
From Baltimore, yes.
How has the adjustment been to Philly life?
It's definitely different than Baltimore.
How so?
I mean, I lived a little bit outside of the city in Baltimore, about like a 15-minute drive. I was on like a street with a lot of trees, and it almost felt like I was kind of more, I don't want to say country, but like definitely not city life. I wasn't able to walk outside and go to a Chick-fil-A if I wanted to. I mean, it was a 10-minute drive and everything. How's a drive? So I've loved walking everywhere. I think that's super cool. I love, you know, seeing people in the street and waving hi, and it just feels like a small, tight-knit community within a big community, which is definitely super different and cool. And
have you moved into the dorms? Is that where you're living? And you have a roommate? Did you know your roommate?
Yeah. So I moved in early before my roommates. I did the University move-in with the Hillel program. So I was there on the 12th, and my roommates moved in on the 14th. I met my roommate at the nursing orientation. I love her so much. She's
and you
the best.
Connected at
and
that
we connected.
Experience?
We were immediate. We didn't even have the conversation of whether or not we were going to be roommates. It was just... It just happened. Like we started sending each other other people to live with because we're living in a suite.
Good, good, good. How do you feel about approaching? So classes begin next Monday. What's your first class?
My first class, I think, is math. I could be wrong. I haven't memorized my schedule yet.
It's all right. You haven't memorized it yet.
But I'm definitely very nervous. I've been thinking about it a lot. I know there's a lot of stigma behind nursing school, and everyone kind of says like, oh, it's going to be crazy. You're not going to be able to have time to do anything and stuff like that. But I have pretty good time management skills. So I'm confident that I'll be able to, you know, still have a social life. But I am definitely nervous, but I've already signed up for one study group because I know I struggle with math. I know that in advance. So I signed up for a group. And then my roommate's really good at anatomy and physiology. She took it last year in high school. So she said she'll help me with that. And then like English I'm really good at, so I'll help her with that. So we have a good system going, but you know, things are definitely going to change once it all hits.
Well, it sounds like you're thinking through what are going to be some of the challenges. I mean, certainly the nursing program is challenging. It is tough.
It's not going to be easy.
No, but it's doable, and there are the supports in place for our students. So when you need assistance, you know, asking for help so that you get those right resources. And we absolutely have them within the College of Nursing and Health Professions, and then also just at the university. So, and I think you're thinking through, you know, it's important to know, I mean, where our areas for growth are and where we might need some help. And you're, you know, I love that you're helping one another, and I'm good at this, I'm good at this. So, so I like that sort of team approach. I remember for me, I was a psychology major, and when I was taking A&P back as a freshman at my undergraduate, I struggled. I was struggling. And I remember I had a professor who welcomed me into his office hours every week. And he gave me the time to help me when I had questions. And he was one of the individuals that at the end of my undergraduate programming, I asked him to write me a letter of recommendation. And it was such a moving letter of recommendation because he really knew me.
Yeah, he really got to know you.
Yeah, he got to know me, and he saw where I struggled, and I asked for help, and that I truly cared about sort of getting it right. So I love that you're already thinking through, okay, when I need help, this is where I'm going to go. Or if I don't know who, I'm going to ask. Who should I go for that resource?
For sure. I have to find my people. And I don't think it'll take me long. But
no, I won't. You definitely seem like an energetic, extroverted person, which
I like
is great.
to talk.
That's fantastic. You'll find your people, and you'll find the people who can sort of help you through.
Yes.
I think it's interesting because we were talking when we were walking up here that we're both new. We're both new to Drexel, both new to the College of Nursing and Health Professions. And I've been going around sort of meeting new students over this past week because we've had a lot of orientations for different programs. One of the things I've been saying is that, and you mentioned it, that you're excited, absolutely, but you're also nervous.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for everyone to always remember that when we do something for the first time, that it is, I think, very typical to feel those feelings. Like I would wonder if you didn't have a little bit of nerve.
You'd be like, why is something not bothering me?
Yeah. And so I think it's exciting. Like it's exciting. And yes, there's nervousness, and you can certainly, lean into that a bit, but certainly asking for help when you need it. But I think that's to be expected. So, and I think once you get into your classes and start to just get into the groove, you'll feel a lot better.
Once I have a routine starting, like it'll be okay. I just need to figure out my new routine because I've never had something like this before.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Both my parents started a new job around this time. So I've been talking to them a lot about that too, because we're all transitioning to new parts of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, like when I think about my life, I think about the big moments in my life in terms of, and when I transitioned into something, whether it was, when I was starting college, when I was starting graduate school, when I started my first job, and then on personal level, when I, got married or had a child, or those types of things are all sort of moments that you'll remember a long time. So it's certainly an exciting time for you. And I'm really excited to sort of continue to have this conversation and learn more about you and what you care about as we sort of continue together.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
As a student, I was wondering what changes you may implement as a new dean at Drexel.
Absolutely. So I started my career actually here in Philadelphia just down the street at Temple University. And then for the past 17 years, I've been a faculty member in Texas at another institution. And I sort of worked my way through the different academic ranks. I was a professor for many years and then moved into administration, where I served in a lot of different administrative roles and then was dean right before I came here. So when you step into this role as dean, certainly initially, one of my goals is I've been telling a lot of people that I'm listening and learning. So I'm trying to understand sort of Drexel University and also the College of Nursing and Health Professions and understand where we need to move to go forward. So in terms of changes that I might implement, probably at this stage, I can't answer that question. Maybe if we return to this conversation in 6 to 9 months, we can have a deeper conversation about what are some of the changes that I might be implementing. But right now, I'm just trying to understand the landscape of Drexel and also CNHP specifically, and understand where the college faculty, staff, and students want to move forward. So we'll undoubtedly be engaging in strategic planning in the coming months and determining as a college what are the strategic priorities for us.
Why Drexel? What made you choose to work here?
That's great. So I said that I started my career in Philly. So I fell in love with the city over 20 years ago, and I'm fortunate to have had the opportunity to come back. Drexel specifically, I was very familiar with Drexel, not only from living here, but just knowing the university and certainly its reputation as an outstanding research institution and a leader in co-op education. That was very attractive to me. I think the college specifically, I mentioned that I was a dean at another institution previously, and the composition of academic colleges can vary from university to university, but the composition of my prior institution, or the college at my prior institution, and then CNHP were very similar to one another, or had some similarities, I should say. And that was attractive to me because I had experience and knowledge working with some of the academic programs, like nursing, the program that you're entering into. There was a school of nursing at my prior institution and within my college. And so that was enticing to me. Also, the makeup of this college in terms of its composition is ripe for interprofessional education, which you will be heavily involved in as a student, which I think is a critical part of our students' learning experiences. And so I think the opportunities to engage in IPE here were really exciting to me. I think as I went through the interview process, and certainly as I've gotten here, there's a tremendous community of outstanding, incredibly committed, caring faculty and professional staff. And so to have the opportunity to work alongside them was incredibly attractive to me.
So I guess that leads me into my last question is, where should I check out? What cool spots?
So what do you like to do? Let's start there.
Well, I love to eat.
Okay, good. We like to eat together. So what's your favorite food?
Oh, I like anything. I mean, I love American food, of course, but I love Italian. I love sushi.
Okay.
I love Mexican food. Really anything. I'm down to try anything.
Okay, good. Well, so we're on the same, we do the same thing. We eat the same foods. So I'm open to anything as well. Oh my goodness. So one of my favorite restaurants here, a Vietnamese restaurant called Vietnam. I was just talking about it with someone else.
Like pho and stuff like that. Oh, I love pho.
It's called Vietnam. I believe it's on 12th Street, but do not quote me on that. You may need to use your GPS.
I probably will anyway.
Another thing I love to do, I don't know if you like to do anything outdoors, but if you haven't been to the Wissahickon, so I'm not going to be able to describe the direction of where it is.
It's okay.
But
GPS is here.
Yes. And so if you like to hike, if you like to get sort of in touch with nature, it's a beautiful place. So when you're high stress, you need to go to the Wissahickon.
Okay, got it. I'll remember that.
To decompress and sort of de-stress a little bit.
Okay.
And I mean, I think like you, I just like walking around.
Yeah, exploring.
I mean, there's amazing shopping here. There's amazing, food.
Love to shop.
Obviously, I live near the museum district, so I really love going to the various art museums there and taking in all that they have to offer.
Right.
So there's just so much to just be really beautiful. I'm particularly looking forward to the seasons because I had previously lived in an area where we didn't have
so beautiful
as distinct a season, and so I'm ready for some leaves to turn soon. So
for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, well, good. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and I look forward to talking with you further and just learning, how your experience is going. So
yeah,
thank
me
you.
Too. I'm super excited to experience everything and really dive into the culture here.
Good. That's great. Well, we're happy you're